Piano notes are traveling to the sky. God doesn't believe in music. It's now or never. After another second is now again. Something is real. I saw it with my third eye. Believe it or not. Again, in the valley of hope, nothing means everything. The plague of human nature, the whispers of unspoken words. Too late to believe in you. Another day of mankind.
Before I was taken to the orphanage home, I lived in the BTC, the Barclay Training Center. It was the last military barrack that was remaining after the Charles Wratto forces of another rebel faction taking over a larger portion of the country. My parents decided to take me to the orphanage home because they were afraid that I would be a part of the war very soon. The reason why, because when I was 10 years old, a general called General Jali, he beat me very badly. He beat my mother, and then he beat my father and other his men to beat my father. After he was done beating my father, they nearly killed my father. The only thing that saved my father's life was when my mother removed her clothes and started shouting and crying and saying they're killing my husband. And people around ran and called the General Hezekiah Bowen, who was the leader of the armed forces of Liberia at the time, General Wright, and other few generals who came and intervened. However, for about 2 months, my father couldn't turn his neck. He had this unbearable pain in his neck. As a child, beating me was just like an ordinary person beating me, but beating my parents, for me, it was something I couldn't take in, and I started growing the desire to be a part of the war. We were locked up in an orphanage home. The staff had nowhere to take us, so they locked us up. And one morning, the rebels came in. A very little boy knocked on the door, and one of the staffs opened the door, and he was shot in the head. The rebels came in. The little boy, he ordered the SBU, the small boys units, to come in. They came in and they raped girls, beat them, dragged them into the room, and they repeatedly raped them. We, the men, the boys, they beat us really badly, and then they put us on the line after they have looted whatever they wanted to loot from the building. They put us on the line at ours to follow them, and they march us out of the house. Believe me or not, guns are musical instruments. Yes, at the moment they are an instrument that kills people. But if only the arms dealing companies can take away that which kills the person in the gun, not only will it be an amazing achievement of world peace and security, but also an extraordinary transformation from that which terrifies a man before taking away his life to that which brings him inner peace, music. Liberians love to dance, and they will dance to anything. including the sounds of guns, which are like the combinations of our traditional drums. Why it is true that most of us, the young boys, were beaten and the girls repeated the rape and forced to fight the wars of evil men. It is also true that many became fascinated by the sounds produced by these guns and wanted to be not just dancers, but DJs who will play the music from the front lines. At age 11, my mother often slapped me in the face and told me to be quiet because I could listen to the shootings and predict precisely how intense the attacks would be for the day or what guns were being used. In the orphanage film, before we were captured by the rebels, we've been locked in for days, we haven't eaten. And so as we were going, I saw on the road, just like a road like this, well, they set tables, there were a lot of restaurants by the left, right, in the Senka area. They brought out all the tables, set them in a way that people could walk between. And then I saw some people eating from afar, so in my mind I was like, okay, since I've crossed the execution point, if I get over there, they're gonna give us food to eat. So I was very excited. But when we got closer to the place where the tables were, as we walked through the row, the tables, in the plates were human hearts. Some of them still had life in them, they were still breathing, still vibrating. Human fingers, female breast, male reproductive organs, and all sort of human parts were all in the plates. In the cups were human blood. And we that were passing through these tables on the road were randomly selected to eat. I remember an elderly man was chosen, and he was so, I can imagine, he was so confused on whether or not to eat. He was in a state of indecision, and one of the rebels just walked up to him and cut off his head with the cutlass, and his blood just went up like you open a shower, and it just like came down on me, and his blood felt very warm on my body and just stuck all over my face. I couldn't do anything. On the beach, there were a lot of corpses, all sort of corpses. The soldiers would just, the rebels would go on the beach, shoot somebody or kill them, and the manner in which they wanted to kill them, and they would just turn around and go. They were not really stationed on the beach. So I got to a place where I saw some corpses, and the corpses looked as dry as a dry meat, and the smell from them was just like a real dry meat. And I said to myself, well, I can eat from this. I really wanted to eat from the flesh because I was so hungry. So I sat very close to the person. The lady was right there, and I was sitting down looking at her hand. The hand was so baked by the sun. I think it'd been there for a very long time. And when I saw it, I was thinking,
to myself that this is good meat to eat because I was so hungry. And I was thinking, should I eat? Should I not eat? You know. But a greater part of me really, really wanted to eat because during the war we didn't really operate with the normal human mind. If you did that, you would not just survive. If you say, "Oh, I'm a human being, I can't do this," then you might not survive. We did so many things to survive. Some people drank water from the commode in their bathroom because they had no water to drink. Other people also ate human beings, not because of spiritual protection, but just because they were hungry. So at that point in time, my mind as a human being was already out of me. I just wanted to eat something just to sustain myself. But just as I was about to put my hand and pull out the flesh, I was irritated by 2 dogs, and to this moment I believe God used those dogs to restore my sense of humor. One of the dogs came with a leg of the baby in the mouth. The baby never had a head, the head was cut off, and the dog just had the leg of the baby, dragging it towards me. And then the other dog had the human intestine in the mouth. Both of the dogs came and they stood right before me, and they dropped whatever they had in their mouths. The one with the intestine started, shaking the intestine with the mouth, like trying to cut up a part of the human intestine from me. The most time people were taken to the beach, they would open their bellies and they would bring out their intestines and take out the hearts. So most people hearts were taken out. It was believed that if you ate the heart of your enemy, you possess the person's power also, which will increase your own spiritual power and makes you invisible.
Piano notes are traveling to the sky. God doesn't believe in music. It's now or never. After another second is now again. Something is real. I saw it with my third eye. Believe it or not. Again, in the valley of hope, nothing means everything. The plague of human nature, the whispers of unspoken words. Too late to believe in you. Another day of mankind.
When I decided to leave Liberia, I left on the 7th of November, but on the 6th of November, I sneaked in at night and stayed with my mother and my father. I spent the night with them, and very early on the 7th of November, November 2001, I left Liberia. So I haven't seen my families in Pat. They were in, my 2 younger sisters, I haven't seen them for about 13 years. My elder sister, I didn't see her since 1996, almost 16 years now. None of us have seen her. And so thinking about my family always brings a lot of pain to me. And I hope someday I'll be able to see them. Well, my advice to people out there is they should, despite the fact that children have killed people, they have done a lot of terrible things. I'm appealing to people out there to not give up on children who are coming from these regions, because they can have a change and they can be better people. So if my Nigerian father had not taken me in to help me as his own son, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to tell my story or be who I am today. And so I'm appealing to people out there that one of the best investments you can ever get yourself involved with is to invest in children, especially the children coming from these areas. Saving a life from such terrible regions of the world means a lot to the future of Africa. So I'm appealing to people out there who have the means to help some of these children to be actively involved. And God bless you as you do that.